This is the Itel A60, a very decent entry-level phone from Itel company. At least for a time, it was the best phone in the series along with the A60s until the A70 kicked it out of the spotlight. What is the difference between the Itel A60 and the A70? If you already own the Itel A60, should you upgrade to the Itel A70? When I did the full review of the Itel A70, I gave a very little reason why you might want to dump the A60 for the A70. In this video, let's consider even more details. Both phones don't have many features in common. Their most important similarities are just 4 features. Their first similarity is their structure, and it is more similar than it appears. They have the same size. Their height, width, and breadth are the same. They have the same cutout at every turn around their body. The only exception is their audio jack. On the A60, it is positioned at the top of the phone, while the A70 has it at the bottom. For your information, it is more convenient for you as a user if the audio jack is located at the bottom of a phone. Then, their camera module is the last similarity in the structure of both phones. Although the modules have different designs, they have the same size and shape. This is the reason why the protective case of the A70 can fit the A60 nicely without blocking the camera, the buttons, and the charging port. The second thing you will find that is a major similarity between these two phones are their battery capacities of 5000 mAh. Of course, it is safe to assume that their battery drainage will be slightly different. But if you have the A60, don't think that the battery of the A70 will last much longer than the A60. Their third similarity is their network capacity. They are both 4G phones, so they should have the same performance as far as internet is concerned. Last but not the least is their display. Although it is not officially confirmed yet if the A70's display is an IPS LCD, since we don't have other displays to suspect, it is definitely an IPS LCD. Both the A60 and the A70 have the same display. So far, I have talked about 4 similarities of the Itel A60 and the A70. It is now time to talk about their differences. But let me warn you in advance. The difference between these phones is longer than the distance between Lagos and Abuja. So press the like button on this video to fasten yourself and make sure you are subscribed to this channel. Want to buy either of this phone? Use the link in the description. The first on the list is their design. From their appearance, it is obvious that the A70 looks so much better. It does not look like a regular Itel phone, and honestly, Itel should be commended for pushing their design forward. Next is their camera sensor. The A60 has an 8 megapixel main camera and a 5 megapixel selfie camera. A70 on the other hand comes with a 13 megapixel main camera and an 8 megapixel selfie camera. Pictures and videos taken on both phones are only slightly different, but this small difference is the point that we are trying to make. A70 takes slightly better shots. Moving on to their third difference is their storage space, and this is another big win for the A70. A60 comes with just 2 GB of RAM and 32 GB of internal storage. This is so much lower than the lowest variant of the A70, which has 128 GB of internal storage and 3 GB of RAM, expandable up to 5 GB. Even better is the highest variant of the A70 with 256 GB of internal storage. If you own the A60, you should already know that storage is a big problem here. And about the storage space, good news Lois said, "I am starting to like Itel phones so they managed to give more storage for less pay. In our present economy, I think that's nice. Unfortunately for me, this is the last review I am watching. My Smart 7 Plus fell and the screen got blank. So I would miss this platform a lot. Goodbye until when I get a new device." Don't worry, good news, you will get a new phone soon. As someone who has been using a smartphone for a long time, your mind won't let you rest until you get a new one. Now, their charging port presents the fourth difference. As you know, the Type-C port is more convenient and durable, and this is the port used on the A70. If you ask a child or someone who doesn't know much to charge your Itel A60, and then he turns the charging terminal of the USB cable upside down and forces it into the charging port, definitely the charging port inside is going to break. It has happened to a lot of us in the past, and this is one good advantage of the Itel A70. Their fifth difference is their processor. The Itel A70 runs on a Unisoc T603 processor, while Itel deliberately concealed the processor of the Itel A60 from us. I knew this because it is nowhere found on their website, or on the phone itself. Whatever the case, the processor of the Itel A60 is up to no good. When I did the main review of the Itel A60, this was what I said about the processor and the performance back then. As much as I hate talking about the bad side of every device, I can't actually avoid this. This is the performance test and it failed completely. From the time it takes to open the camera to the time it takes to open the YouTube app, the delay is so unacceptable. Even more annoying is the fact that ordinarily scrolling through contents lag. And this is happening at a time when nothing has been installed inside the phone. So what happens next after I install 1 or 2 games? And what happens when I download 10 movies inside the device? I guess it would be way more slower than I can imagine right now. Comparing the speed of both phones, you can easily tell that the Itel A70 is so much faster. And then their last difference, their Android version. This is not a big deal in the first place, but then the A70 supports the two-way swipe down, while the A60 doesn't. This is because the A60 is built on Android 12 Go edition, while the A70 is built on Android 13 Go edition. One more feature of the A70 that is lacking on the A60 is the dynamic bar. While this is a talking point for Itel, Dennis rightly said, Itel will somehow abuse the dynamic bar feature. These are all the differences and similarities of the Itel A60 and A70 that I know of. Click these videos to watch their main review video, and just in case you want to purchase any of these phones, use the link in the description and I will see you in my next video.